really thinks about the materials we put in facial implants. I think a lot of times people think facial implants are just facial implants, but there's a lot more to it than just that. It's the material that we use, it's the size, the shape. There's just so many factors in facial implants that can't go ignored. Now, silicone implants seem to carry the market share. When you think of facial implants, we call a company and oftentimes we'll get an off-the-shelf option that fits most patients. And we can cut it down with a knife or some scissors and optimize the shape of that implant, but the reality is I'm finding that custom solutions with plastics, thermoplastics specifically, have been better. What do I mean by that? An implant is really designed to enhance your natural skeleton by augmenting it. And when you put on something that's like a plastic or a rubber type of material that doesn't look or feel like bone, sometimes it can slide around and it may not be optimal. For applications like the chin or perinasal region, I find that silicone implants work very well. But when it comes to sort of asymmetries of the face and also the jaw angles, also even the cheeks, sometimes these one-size-fits-all options fail. The best solutions that I've found have been custom implants. They make custom implants out of silicone, of course, but what I've really fallen in love with are the thermoplastics, the advanced polymers. Now, this is something that is like, kind of advanced engineering stuff here, but a lot of the patients who come to me are sophisticated enough to understand the concept of PEKK implants. More recently, somebody asked me about PEKK implants. Not PEKK implants, but PEKK. Normally I use something called PEKK, P-E-E-K, which is polyether ether ketone. This is a plastic that looks like, just a cheap thread here, but in reality, this cheap flexible thread has strength to weight characteristics that rival or exceed metals like titanium. This is what this can be processed into by additive manufacturing. I couldn't break this little piece of plastic if I tried. This is a polyether ether ketone, or PEKK, jaw angle implant that was manufactured by additive manufacturing. In other words, using a 3D printer. You can also get a big block of this and mill it down to size. But somebody asked me more recently about PEKK, not pectoralis, but PEKK, polyether ketone, not to be confused with polyether ether ketone. And both of these are cousins of each other. Polyether ether ketone, which I've used and loved, is the cousin of polyether ketone, which looks similar. It's a little bit more clear and it has slightly different mechanical properties. Both of them are candidates for additive manufacturing, meaning you could 3D print them, but I have heard that PEKK is a little bit easier. Companies that manufacture PEKK implants say that it has better resistance to microbes and things like that as well. It's microporous and they can be better in some ways. However, PEKK implants, PEKK, are just not as commercially available. Both have been used as implants in neurosurgical and craniofacial applications since the 1980s, and we have a long track record of showing their biocompatibility, so they are both solid contenders. However, the PEKK implants that I've been using, even though they might be a little bit more expensive to manufacture, have served my patients very well. I'm open to other options like PEKK, but I just don't have access to those options as of the time of this video. I'm working on that. So PEKK versus PEKK, both are cousins, both belong to the polyaryl ether ketone, or PAEK family, and both of them are commercially available for use as a craniofacial implant or an onlay cosmetic implant, as I would most likely use them for. If you have any other questions about PEKK versus PEKK, I'm not going to sit here and say which one's better. I have my thoughts, which could potentially be better, but both work so well that there's no reason to compare them. It's an issue of availability at this point. They are great options for facial implants. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this long biomechanics video. Have a great day.